The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, welcome to the program. It is the Ron Van Dam Show. I am one of the people to whom they refer to in the title. Thanks for being here. Just as a form of introduction, which I do every week because you never know. You just never know. I come into the studio once a week to do a half-hour show where I talk incessantly and then we all go on with our lives. Basically, I do this visually once a week so you can see my arms move. Otherwise, every weekday for the past 30 years, I've been doing radio. Still am, as well as podcasting, whatever the hell that is. You can find me on a daily basis on newenglandbroadcasting.com or Ron Van Dam Show, just Google that, or ronvandam.com. I'm on every one of the platforms that were ever built. All the Apple things and all the Google things and all the, the Android things and the Spotify, Shopify, Popsci, Soptize, and iHeartRadio and Pandora and iTunes and all those things. Oh, that's so exhausting. So that's what I do. All right, let's get on with the meat of the thing. Otherwise, it sounds like I don't really do anything at all, which is so close to the truth. First of all, how are you? This is the only talk show that actually pauses at the beginning of the show and asks out of false reasoning how you are. I don't really care because I don't know you, and I'd like to keep it that way. I think we'll get along if we don't involve each other's personal lives in this thing. But otherwise, good, whatever. Okay, fine. 2024 is going to be a horrible year, politically, socially, for democracy, the whole bit. It's just going to be a horrible, horrible year. And whoever wins the presidency when this year is over that's not going to solve anything. Someone's going to get pissed and there's going to be trouble because as we do things these days, we accept nothing. We don't accept it. If we don't like it, we don't accept it and we go nuts. That's going to be the elections from now on, I swear. No one's going to take no for an answer. So it's going to be interesting. Anyway, enjoy your new year because the one coming up ain't going to be great. Anyway, I was thinking, the United States, that's where we live. Just to clarify, the United States is the only country, democracy in the world where we have a thing called the Electoral College. It's for people who don't graduate from high school. No, it's not. It's not. The Electoral College is where you go for further education if you want to be elected to something. Literally. Here's the problem. I personally, and we can disagree. It's all right. It's fine. That's what America is. I personally think the Electoral College is absolutely ridiculous. It makes no sense. In every other democracy, it's just the vote, what they call the popular vote, which is what a vote is. The person who gets the most votes wins. This is what we're taught in school. This is how we do class elections for class president. This is how we do nominations for towns and cities and states. Most votes wins. Shut up, nothing to say, get out of here. That's how we do it. But then somebody came up with this college thing where, well, it's not fair because some people live in very rural areas and their vote doesn't count. It does count. Well, then people in cities get more of what they want because they're in cities. And what's your point? So, no, we go down to the basics of what a democracy it is. The most votes gets the thing. This college stuff, what are you doing? Do you know how many elections, especially in modern history, since they started this college thing, how many elections someone became president but didn't get the popular vote? In other words, the other person who lost got more votes than the person that won. That's when you got to sit back in your chair and you got to say to yourself, this is ridiculous. There are always rumblings of getting rid of the Electoral College, but nothing ever gets done because that takes a vote in Congress and somebody's not going to like that, and you have to have a majority, simple majority, and not a majority. I mean, come on. The most votes wins. Stop that. The American people should decide what they want done about certain things. That's who wins. And polls, I'm sick of polls. I'm not talking about people from Poland. I'm talking about when polls are taken, national polls, so to speak, but they never tell you in a national poll how many people actually took the poll. That information they don't really give you unless it's in really small print, but it's usually not there. So when they say a certain number of Americans are for this and a percentage of Americans are for that, they only polled like 1,000 people, if that. How do I know where these people lived? Were they all in Democratic places or in the South and Republican place? I don't know. You didn't divulge that information. Was it a couple of people from every state and then you multiplied by 10? I mean, stop with your poll stuff. Polls are stupid. Polls are stupid when you're ahead, and polls are stupid when you're behind because they don't represent the American people. They seem to in general, but specifically when things are close, they don't. And polls can change because we don't know when the polls were even taken. They could have been taken before some incident or after some incident. We don't know that. They don't tell you. They just give you a percentage. Hey, did you hear about the latest poll? 87%. 87%. 87% of what? Well, I don't know, but it's 87%. Most people feel whatever they felt. Okay. I think the Electoral College should be disbanded. Put to bed. Most votes wins. That's it. Pure and simple. Pure and simple. You can't have someone winning who didn't get most of the votes. It just doesn't make any sense. And to people in other countries, their response is always, what are you people doing? What are you people doing? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. There will be some trials of significance, as I understand it, in 2024. Trump might be involved in all of them. And here's the interesting thing. The state trials, the ones that are taking place in Georgia, are going to be televised. This reminds me of the O.J. Simpson trial. Remember, we all watched that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, millennials. I'm sorry when I said remember. You may not. This is for the older people. O.J. Simpson was a football player, and he was accused of murdering his wife and a guy that came by to see her. We don't know why. And he was put on trial, and it looked like he was cooked like toast. But then all of a sudden, he was asked to put a glove on for some reason because it was cold and it didn't fit, so he must have quit. So he wasn't accused of that. Accused of other stuff later on, but wasn't accused of that murder. He was accused, but he was let go. And we all watched the trial, but at the same time, we totally disagreed with the verdict, a lot of us, like half of the world disagreed with the verdict, yet we watched the trial. So I don't know just how much that's worth anything, other than the evidence that is presented must be real evidence of some sort, unless you can say, well, that's not evidence, that was made up, that's not real evidence. Then that comes out in the trial as well. So that's interesting. But I like trial coverage because I see our democracy in action, and I realize sometimes that action doesn't work either. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I've talked about this on the show before, but I don't like to get too serious because I basically am supposed to be doing a comedy show. But no. We're not created equal. It's not justice for all. It's how much power or money you have that will win you. If you're accused of something and you're in a prominent position or you have a lot of money, you can buy your way out of your legal problems or certainly nullify them down to nothing. Money talks, everybody else, you're screwed. That's the unfortunate part of our legal system. And then we have presidents and political parties that appoint federal judges. It's like, well, okay. Democracy, you've got to define that again because that's not lining up with what's going on. Anyway, I move forward. I was watching television as I tend to do because real life is just too shocking for me. So watch television. There's a new show on ABC called The Golden Bachelor. What they do, are you familiar with the show? They have a bachelor, and then there's a lot of women who want to get in his pants, and I don't understand exactly what the whole thing's about. But it's The Golden Bachelor. What they do is they take a bachelor and they dip him in gold paint, and then the women have to wash him off. I don't understand what happens. I think The Golden Bachelor is about, there's a guy, his name is Gary. I think the way, it's really, that's the guy's name, Gary. He's the Golden Bachelor. He's over 60, and he wants to hook up again for whatever reason. Things didn't work out previously in his marriage or whatever. So he's on the chopping block again. He's out there. So now he's the Golden Bachelor, and I don't know how they came up. I think the people at the Bachelor show at ABC, they were sitting around a conference table and said, look, we got to come up with another angle on this Bachelor thing. We got the Bachelor, we got the Bachelorette. I mean, we're running out of things here. We could do, the gay Bachelor, but I don't know if that's going to be accepted just yet, so we'll hold off on that one. But I don't know what else we can do. And then one of the people there on the production crew said, hey, wait a minute, why don't we do a Bachelor that is older, older, like a senior? Oh, that's a great idea. As a matter of fact, Gary in accounting is like 65, 70, I believe, and he's kind of graying hair. And he's fairly attractive, for an accountant. And what could be more exciting than an accountant? Oh, so how about Gary? That's a great idea. Let's ask Gary. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll use Gary. Fine. What will we call it? The Older Bachelor? No, that doesn't work. The Elder Bachelor? No, that's a little insulting. I don't know. You got a golden idea there. Hey, that's it. The Golden Bachelor. That's a great idea. I do not watch The Bachelor. I don't watch The Bachelorette. I just am not interested in people hooking up because they're not me, and what do I care? And I don't find that to be fascinating in the least. However, people do watch that. They get very involved in these things, and I don't know if it's started yet. I have no idea, but I'm seeing commercials for the Golden Bachelor, and I don't quite understand what I would be watching if I did. So there you go. It's up to you, whatever. If you have the kind of life where that is exciting to you, then enjoy. I don't really care. Yeah, I don't know. You know Confucius? You are familiar with Confucius? Confucius was some type of thing. He was an annoying man. I don't know. It was like the Middle East or somewhere. Maybe I don't know where he came from. India, something. Maybe he came from the Far East. Far East would be what, probably like Sandwich, Massachusetts. Is that far enough east? No, Provincetown would be the furthest east you can go. But I think it's from Far East. And Confucius used to walk around and say these wise things, which at first was very entertaining, and people would want to be around him like, oh, whoa, what is Confucius going to say? Confucius, I'm going to go shopping. What should I buy today from the supermarket? Oh, please tell me, Confucius. Man buy things of necessity in order to survive in the mind. Whoa, Confucius. What does that mean? Spaghetti? Boiled ham? What should it be, Confucius? Ham is the life that we breathe, say the pig upon arrival. Whoa! Well, after like a couple of weeks of hanging around with Confucius, people started getting annoying and said, Confucius, I appreciate what you're saying, but will you just be quiet for 10 minutes? Stop talking unto us. Can you imagine going on a fishing trip with Confucius? Being stuck in a boat with this guy? Fish nibble. Oh, shut up. Will you shut up? I'm trying to fish. Fishing is the life of pleasure for those. No, shut up. Did you invite Confucius to the party? No way. No way. He'll ruin it. He'll just stand in the middle of the party room and just start talking and about things nobody can understand what the hell he's talking about. It's a downer. Confucius is a downer, and he doesn't completely dress well. He's just really upsetting to people. No. You imagine sitting at home and the phone rings and you look down at the caller ID and it's Confucius. Don't answer. Don't answer. Say we're not home. If you answer, say we're not home. Confucius, man, you are your own problem. Confucius problem unto himself, like a fish in a bowl with no sand. All right. You know, Confucius actually had a job writing sayings for Chinese fortune cookies. Yes, he did. It was a perfect job for him because people didn't have to be around, and he could come up with all these thoughts and just put it on a little slip of paper and shove it inside of a bakery item, a cookie. Yeah. But then, I don't know if you realize, but back then, all of a sudden, sales in Chinese restaurants started going down. People weren't going to Chinese restaurants anymore because at the end of the meal, they were handed these annoying cookies. Hey, did you get a fortune cookie? What does it say? What does it say? Man who climbs mountain, not... Oh, that's a Confucius thing. Damn it, let's get out of here. I'm not coming back here again. We cannot escape Confucius. Confucius also wrote for Hallmark for a while. Card sales were down because there was so much stuff inside the card that there was no place to sign your name, so that was a problem. Are you one of those people? I hope you're not one of those people who just buys a card and then just signs your name on the bottom. That's just like signing a contract or a document. I mean, it means nothing. Oh, you picked out the sweetest card of things that you wouldn't dare ever say. That's lovely. Thank you, honey, that you feel that way about me, but would never have the balls to say it to me in front of my face. Oh, thank you. And you've signed it. You made it official in the card. And you added a date at the top. Oh, my God, you must love me. Oh, come on. The only way that you should buy a Hallmark card or a greeting card, whatever they call those things, is usually that stuff is all written on the right side of the card. On the left, unless it's Hebrew, on the left, you should write an entire thing yourself, actually saying that everything on the right side of the card is the way that you feel, and you got to add some stuff to it. And don't just sign your name. At least say love, comma, or that's the way I really feel like the person who wrote this, comma, and then your name. The other problem about greeting cards, and I don't know how I got on this subject, you must have started. The only other problem with greeting cards is, oh my God, they got the price on the back of the card. It's printed on the back of the card. You can't get rid of it. So if you buy one of these cards for 99 cents, they can flip the card over and say, oh, thanks, a $1 card, not even $1. Thanks. Your love and sincerity is like pouring out with that. You spent $1 on me and signed your name. Oh, I love you back. Come on. If you want to get somebody a greeting card, get them like an $8 or $10 job, you know? Or when the card opens up, something pops out and, like a picture of a heart or something. I really don't know how that works. But greeting cards, oh man, what a problem that was for me. I remember I had a decent relationship with my father. It's really none of your business, but I had a decent relationship with my father, but we weren't very close. We did things together, but not like in bonding just because like we both had to. He was a nice man, he said things to me, I said things to him. We disagreed on a lot and all that kind of stuff. But it was my father, and it worked out fine. But I remember whenever it was his birthday, I would go down to the pharmacy, basically. That's where they had most of the greeting cards. And, greeting cards, drugs, same thing. So I would go to the Hallmark area, and I would spend hours looking at greeting cards for my father's birthday. And it was very difficult because I to this day, I will not buy a card for somebody that doesn't say on it what my feelings are. I mean, it's not like, I love you, Father. You're the best father in the world. There's nobody better father than you. You are the father of the universe and the father to me, and I owe everything that ever happened to me, every sexual disease. I owe it all to you, Father, and then sign your name. I can't do it because it's a lie. It's a lie. And my father would know, like, what do you do? You don't feel this way about me. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're an idiot. So I spent a lot of time. My father's no longer with us, moved to New Jersey. So I spent a lot of time looking for the proper card that really had my emotions in it. And I don't think Hallmark really took that into account at all. The only kind of card Hallmark could have done that would have really fit was, you are indeed my dad. And then I'd sign my name as Maury Povich. And then they have the Hallmark cards that are, oh my God, they are blank inside. What's the point of, how much effort did it take Hallmark to put that card together? Well, I'm paying $10 for a piece of white cardboard that folds in half? What? Did I say cardboard? I said cardboard. White cardboard. I've got to learn to talk if I'm going to do this professionally. Anyway, God, was it 12 minutes on the Hallmark bit? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I used to do stand-up comedy, and now, obviously, I'm sitting down. So it's kind of, the older I got, I realized, why do stand-up when you can sit in a chair? What's the point of that? Why do stand-up comics stand up on a stage when they can just as well get a nice chair out there and sit in a chair on the stage and do their same show? Every once in a while, you can get up and pace back and forth, but go back to the chair and sit down. Sometimes they'll put a stool on the stage, but the stool is not to sit on. It's to put your water bottle on. Comedians got to be hydrated. But so the hydration bottle has its own stool. I'll stand up. There's a stool. May I sit there, water bottle? No, I'm here. I'm your water bottle. I'm on the stool. Please, can I sit down? No, this stool is taken by my water bottle. So I used to do stand-up, and obviously this is why I'm not doing it anymore. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. It's been a very hot summer, man. Oh, it's been awful. And it's not so much the heat, it's the humidity. I've heard that phrase before, but it's absolutely true. I can't stand it. What hair I have left is frizzing too much. I've got one hair that frizzes. It's awful. I don't like the humidity at all. I mean, it's like living in Costa Rica or Florida. It's funny. I met a couple a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know why I did that. But I met a couple, and we were talking, and they said that they were going to move to Florida. And I said to them with a straight face, why? I did say that. And they couldn't come up with an answer. I think they were trying to find one. They were going to say, like, because we're supposed to. No, you're not supposed to. There are other places to go besides Florida. Florida used to be the place to go. Right now, that place is a little funky right now. It's funky politically. It's funky weather-wise. It is the place that is too humid. It is shaped like a penis, and I don't know if I can deal with that. There's a lot going on down in Florida, and New Yorkers used to, when they hit the age of 60, they had to move to Florida. That was the rule. But now, no, they're going other places because it's getting a little weird, a little overcrowded. But I don't like things that stick out as far as land masses are concerned. I mean, you may for various reasons, but the landmass thing is certainly a problem for me. All right, what else do you want to talk about? What subject do you want me to talk about now? I can't hear you. No, yell louder into the speaker. You what? I can't hear you. Yell louder into the speaker. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, that's a good question. Why do all the foods that taste really good, why are they all bad for you? And why are the foods that don't have much taste or are not interesting, why are those the foods that are good for you? It makes no sense. Wouldn't it be great if it were the other way around? Wow. The better the tasting the food, the healthier. No, we didn't do that. We didn't go that direction. If it's green, it's good for you. No, not in the case of mold. What about penicillin? All right, now. Okay, cut it out. Man. I met another couple. I'm meeting a lot of couples these days. And they love New Orleans. They love Louisiana cooking. And I said, you realize that has like tons of salt in it. They cook in fat. It's some of the most unhealthy food ever devised by man. You realize that, don't you? And they said, yes, we do. And that was the end of the conversation. Where am I going to go? What, am I going to scold them or something? I don't care what they do. I can't imagine eating that food. Have I been to Louisiana? Yes. Did I eat their food? Ugh. You like barbecue, Ron? You like barbecue? Yeah, sure, I love barbecue with all the sweet, heavy sauces and all the fatty meats. Well, it is good. Whoever thought that fat would be tasty? There's a joke there, but I'm not going to do it. Do your own jokes. What do you need me for? That's a good question. I'm out of time. I'll be back again next week with a brand new show. Visit me online, ronvandam.com, newenglandbroadcasting.com. Google me. I'm all over the damn place on a daily basis. Thank you. Wish you peace.